In this video, I'll show you how to connect a CODESYS PLC to factory I/O using the Modbus communication protocol. First, let me introduce the sponsor of today's video, RealPARS Business. RealPARS Business is the most effective way to train your engineering and maintenance teams in industrial automation. Using our catalog of over 120 courses on industrial automation, your team can learn the skills that they need to work effectively. Head over to realpars.com/business or use the link in the description below to learn more about how RealPARS Business can help train your team. Before we learn how to connect CODESYS to factory I/O, let me take a minute to introduce the tools that we will use in this video. CODESYS is a control runtime and development system. The development system is completely free to download and use, making it a popular choice to learn PLC programming. You can learn how to download and install CODESYS on your computer by checking out our blog post, How to Download and Install CODESYS, which is linked in the description below. Factory I/O is a 3D simulation environment for PLC training. Using Factory I/O, you can build virtual factories from a library of components and pre-built scenes. These virtual factories can be connected to a PLC to test and visualize how your code would control a physical process. Factory I/O is a powerful tool for learning PLC programming, and you can download a free trial of Factory I/O using the link in the description below this video. Modbus is an industrial communication protocol that was created by Modicon, now Schneider Electric, in the late 1970s for PLC to PLC communication. Modbus is still widely used in industrial automation for connecting devices. In this video, we'll use Modbus TCP IP to connect a factory I/O scene to a CODESYS PLC. This is a modern version of the Modbus communication protocol that sends data over Ethernet networks. You can learn more about Modbus in our Modbus blog post, which is linked in the description below this video. Now that we've seen all of the tools that we'll use in this video, let's see how to connect a factory I/O scene to CODESYS using Modbus. In CODESYS, I create a new project using the standard project template and select CODESYS Control Windows version 3 as the device type, and Ladder as the programming language for the PLC PRG POU. In the new project, I add a global variable list called I/O and declare the variables that I will use in this project in the list. Next, I open up PLC PRG and program the simple logic for this demo. In this case, the conveyor should run when the normally closed sensor is not triggered. If you're just getting started with PLC programming or want to learn how to use CODESYS, check out our course, CODESYS 1 Introduction to PLC Programming. You'll learn the basics of PLC programming with CODESYS and earn a certificate of completion from WAGO. Once the logic is written, I add a symbol configuration to the project. Once the symbol configuration is added, I open it and press Build. Once the project is built, the variables used in my project are listed in the symbol configuration. Now that the data for the project is configured, we can configure the Modbus communication. I start by right-clicking on the device and selecting Add Device. From the list of field buses, I expand Ethernet Adapter, select Ethernet, and click on Add Device. After adding the Ethernet adapter to the project, I close the Add Device dialog. In the Devices tree, I right-click on the new Ethernet adapter and select Add Device. In the Add Device dialog, I expand the Modbus folder and select Modbus TCP Server Device and click on Add Device. Now, I can map the I/O variables to the Modbus TCP server. To do that, I close the Add Device dialog and double-click on the Modbus TCP server device in the device tree. In the General tab, I specify that I want to enable discrete bit areas and create 8 coils and discrete inputs. I also update the addresses of the holding and input registers, as shown here. Next, I activate the Modbus TCP server device I/O mapping and map the variables, as shown here. Finally, I start the CODESYS Control Windows version 3 runtime on my computer and set the communication path to the device, as shown here. With the communication path set, I can download to the device by clicking on Online and then Login. Once the project is downloaded, I can start the PLC by clicking on Debug and then Start. Now that the CODESYS PLC is set up, I launch Factory I/O and open the scene 1 from A to B. I open the driver menu by clicking on File and then Drivers. In this window, I select Modbus TCP IP client from the drop-down list of available drivers. As you can see, the tags are already mapped for us. With the driver configured, I click Connect to connect Factory I/O to the CODESYS PLC and close the driver window. Then I press the Play button to start the scene and verify the communications are working correctly. In this video, I showed you how to connect a CODESYS PLC to Factory I/O using the Modbus communication protocol. I also explained briefly what CODESYS, Factory I/O, and Modbus are. If you would like to learn more about programming CODESYS PLCs, check out our CODESYS courses, which are linked in the description below this video. RealPARS business members get access to these courses and all of our other great courses for a fixed annual price. To learn more about how a RealPARS business membership can help train your team and reduce downtime, head to realpars.com/business or use the link in the description below.